In today's video, I am going to be talking to you about the 3 most underrated skills that NBA players and professional players have that you need to have if you want to become a pro or make the NBA. These are 3 skills that you literally have to have. If you do not have these, you will not make it to the professional leagues and you will not make it to the NBA. I almost guarantee you. If you have 2 out of these 3, you have potential to be able to make it, but if you don't have all 3, you're not going to make it. So, what are these 3 things? The number 1 thing that I'm going to tell you is one of the most important, and that is you have to be addicted. If you are on the basketball court and you're shooting around, and let's say you're going through some different drills, and let's say you're not making your shots, do you want to go home and say, screw it, I'm done, I'm finished, I'll come back tomorrow? Or are you the type of player who says, I don't care that I missed because this is how I'm going to learn. Now, what am I doing wrong so that I can correct this so that I don't miss in the future? That's a mindset that you need to have. If you have the I give up attitude, then what are you going to do when you just gave up a 10-point lead? You are now faced with a deficit of 2 points and you got 1 minute left in the game. Are you going to say, I'm done, coach, I'm finished? No, you're not. I almost guarantee you most players are not going to be saying I give up. And if you say I give up, then you're probably not going to make the NBA. Now, when it comes down to being addicted, are you on the basketball court every day? And I don't mean going through a hard skills session every single day. Not many people do that. Even Kobe Bryant didn't do a hard skills session every single day. They had days off. You have to have the ability to let your body recover. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't go on the basketball court at all. That means that you still get your shots up. That means that you still get to the basketball court. You still say, okay, well, man, you know what? I did 3 skill sessions yesterday. I did a workout. My body is aching. I'm dead. Can I still make 100 free throws? Can I still pull up, do maybe a 1 dribble pull up for a 3-point shot? Can I make 100 3-point shots today? That's not really all that hard. Now, that may take an hour to 2 hours to do, but that's really not all that hard. You're not going to spend more than an hour spent taking 100 free throw shots or making 100 free throw shots, because I can almost guarantee you a couple of those makes are going to come back to you, right? So if you're looking at 60 minutes in an hour, if you can't make more than 1 free throw shot in a minute, then you need to work on your game. So how addicted are you? I know a lot of players who will train with me once a week and twice a week, and when they go home, they'll work on those same exact drills that we worked on together, and they'll go to the driveway or they'll go to the park near their house and they'll work on those skills that we were working on in the skills session. And if it's something that needs a partner, for example, trying to learn how to draw a foul, well, then those players will still be getting to the court saying, okay, well, I can't do this because I don't have a partner, but you know what? We were working on floaters. Well, spin, floater, 2 steps, floater. Spin, 2 steps, floater. Spin, 2 steps, floater. Right? There's still things that you can work on when you're alone. So, are you that addicted? Or are you going to be sitting there saying, well, I feel like, I just don't feel like going to the park today. I just don't feel like going to the basketball court today. But I'd rather play my video games. I'd rather go just play on Instagram all day and, oh, look at this player, he's doing so much. Wow, those are great drills. Wow, that's a nice 3-point shot. Or would you rather actually say, I'm going to the court today because I want to get better? You have a lot of time, especially in the summer. There's a lot of players who surpass others during the summer. There's a reason why in some ranking lists, while most ranking lists are BS, some of them are actually pretty accurate. There's a reason why some unknown players every single year, at least 4 or 5 a year, crack the top 20 just randomly. They just show up out of nowhere because they put in the work in the summer, and some of those guys on the list didn't put in as much work or any work at all. I'll give you an example. The player who is behind me training in the green screen footage that's playing behind me is David. He is doing 2 to 3 skill sessions a day, whether it be one skill session and two workouts, or it could be a skill session and a workout, or it could be 2 skill sessions and a workout. He's doing something 3 times a day. And I'm not talking weak stuff. He's training with a professional athlete at the very minimum 3 to 4 times a week. And then he's training again alone, and then he's either getting up shots, or he's going to a hill and doing hill workouts, or he's got weights at home where he's doing workouts at home. There's a lot of things that he's doing in those skill sessions when we're together, because I train him in the 2 or 3 skill sessions a day because he's my nephew. Well, guess what? When David is training, when we're training with CJ, a professional athlete, a professional player, they're not just going for an hour. Sometimes they go for an hour, 10 minutes, an hour and a half. We've had some times where we've gone for 2 hours. We just go. We just go until we're tired. Now, of course, I've got other clients around that, and sometimes we have to limit it to an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15. But because he's my nephew, he gets a couple more training sessions than most other people, but he still puts in the work. And it's not me asking him to go out. It's him saying, let's train tomorrow. So there's a massive difference between somebody who is dedicated, somebody who is not necessarily totally dedicated. Or addicted. I should say addicted. Next is academics. Academics is massive. If you don't have good grades, you're probably not going to be doing too much when it comes to basketball. Now you may be saying, okay, well, there's a lot of professional leagues. They'll take me out of high school. Well, guess what? If you are playing high school basketball, if you are playing at a high level, so what I'm talking about is the prep level, Montverde, IMG, Polaris, and Burlington. Schools like that, where now you're playing at the elite level. That's where the pro teams are looking. They're not looking at some random small high school down the street. They're only looking at the teams that are playing at the elite level. So if you are getting 60% grades in a prep school, first off, you're probably not going to be on the basketball court. You're probably going to be benched. But if by chance they allow you to play with a 60% grade, there is that chance that you may be able to get recruited by a pro team. But if you are in a regular random high school, you definitely need to get good grades, because guess what? Most teams are not looking at a small level high school that is playing against mid-level or lower level competition. They're only really looking at the elite competition, IMG, Montverde, schools like that, prep schools. Now, what is a good academic record? If you can get over 80%, that's pretty solid. If you can get over 90%, you're opening up more doors. You've got more universities that are going to be looking at you because they do have standards. Also, something to really think about is the fact that university basketball is a business. This isn't some, hey, look guy, yo, coach, I'm over here, I'm good. You could be dropping 100 million points a game. Doesn't matter. They're not going to be taking you if you don't have the academics. They need to uphold the school's record of getting good grades. Schools can charge more money to people, random people who are not even on the basketball team, to say, hey, our students, they're the top. They get good grades. They go into high-level jobs when they leave this school. Then they can charge more money. Or if you're a university in Canada, you need to have an academic all-Canadian. If you don't, you do not, or you are unable to give out scholarships. So that means that at least every single school wants to have at least one player who can average over 90%. If he can do that, then they have an academic all-Canadian and they can give out scholarships to their team. If they do not have that, they cannot give out scholarships, which means that even if you are a mid-level player, If you are getting 98% and nobody else there looking at that year is getting 98% or over 90%, you're probably going to get a scholarship to that school to play basketball. Whether you are 12th man or not, it doesn't matter. So yes, grades matter. Because you need to be able to show you have good grades to get on the basketball court at the elite level, which means that university is your next step or pro is your next step. You need to be smart. Next and third, which is almost just as important, is your character. And if you are the type of player who is on the bench saying, oh, I want to play, but I'm not, and I'm all pissy and mad and upset and angry, and I just want to play. Why does this coach hate me? Well, guess what? You're probably not going to make it to the next level. Not because you're not playing. There's a lot of guys who are 12th men on prep schools who get scholarships, maybe D2, but it doesn't matter. Guess what? If you got great attitude, yes, good job, high five, yeah, I might have only played 3 minutes, but you know what, good job, good, you got the win, yeah, you got a nice 3, that's fantastic. If you could be supportive to your teammates, pro teams, college teams, university teams, they are going to be wanting you because you are what they call a good teammate. If you can be a good teammate, you're going to be very, very wanted because you're going to be uplifting the spirits of everybody. Anyways, these are my 3 things that every pro player needs. If you don't have at least 1 or 2 of these, you're not going to make it. So figure out a way of getting good academics, being addicted, and of course, having good character. Hit that like button, subscribe, I'll see you guys again in my next video.